Welcome to Broke Gourmet. Today we are going to make teriyaki sauce, and I'm going to show you in future videos how this teriyaki sauce can be used in other ways. But we're going to start with this teriyaki base. So what we're going to need for measuring is we're going to need half cup, we're going to need tablespoon, and we're going to need teaspoon. And the ingredients we're going to have here are brown sugar. We're going to have pineapple juice, green onions, basically roughly about a third to half a cup. I'm leaning towards a third of a cup right now. We're going to do sesame oil, soy sauce, and ground ginger. Now I'm going to throw a twist into this because I've got a few other things back here, a few other spices. So I got cloves right here. I've got Sriracha seasoning. Oh yeah. By the way, go to Dollar Tree. You can get pretty much all of these. If not, Family Dollar next door. I might try some coriander. And this pineapple juice turned into exactly 1 cup. See that right there? So we're going to pour this 1 cup into this pan. And we're going to turn the temperature up to medium. And if you were curious how I cut these up, I have a separate video showing how I cut up these green onions. Where we're at now is we want this to boil. So we're going to leave it at medium heat, let it boil on its own. And while that's boiling, let me walk you through real quick how we're going to sweeten this up. We're going to use brown sugar because brown sugar is king. But we can use honey. I'm not going to use that today because I'm going to use hot honey. You see this right here? Sweet heat honey. But you can also use monk fruit sweetener, and you can use Truvia or stevia sweetener. With both of these, add them to taste. I'm going to show you how we're going to adjust the sweetness as we go along. You can always add more, you can never add less. So we're going to progressively get up to where we're happy with this. The final ingredient you're going to need is cornstarch. Cornstarch is very, very important, and we are going to mix it with a little bit of water in just a minute because we need to free up this right here. But while we're waiting, we might as well put the soy sauce in here because we're going to be adding the soy sauce before we do the cornstarch. I'm going to get this up to 1 cup. It's better to do it down here where you're not moving it and you're not adjusting. Just go ahead and set this down, let the soy sauce slowly pour out because that's what soy sauce is supposed to do. And we're at 1 cup. So what we can do is we can prep our soy sauce because this is all going to go in at the same time. So first things first, 2 teaspoons of ground ginger. Normally you can use teaspoons. I'm going to add it a la carte. Now I know I said 2 teaspoons. 1 teaspoon is going to make it gently tangy, like if you go to a nicer restaurant. If you go to a cheap teriyaki restaurant, then that's going to be about 2 tablespoons, or teaspoons, sorry. And you see what I'm doing there? If it gets compacted in here, just shake it a little bit right here and then straight in. Then you shake it a little bit more and straight in. Whoop, that's enough. Woo. You know what I can use this for since I didn't use it? Stirring. Who saw that coming? Now the cool thing is you can add almost everything to your soy sauce. So the green onions, they're going in too. Moment of truth. I'm going to start with a tiny bit of coriander. I'm going to see how that measures up. Yep, that's good enough. Well, a little bit more. Some people might call me crazy. I call myself happy. This brown sugar right here, I'm going to open it up. What I'm doing is creating a gap at the top. I'm going to take a knife. Well, normally I would take a knife, but I can just tear it if I wanted to. See? That simple. I'll show you how I'm doing it right here. I'm going to stretch this out, stretch the tear so that it's big enough to fit the half cup. But what I'm going to do here is I'm only going to do half the half cup of brown sugar. And then I'm going to do the other half. This is looking good. Yes, it is. Now this is going to be a very sweet and tangy teriyaki. In fact, I'm not even going to go to the full half because I can always add more later. Then I'm going to put it in here. Just shake it and stir it around. And you see, this is already starting to boil. And the one thing I didn't do was the sesame oil, which I am going to correct momentarily. But first things first, we're going to pop this in there. You see that honey right there? Especially if you're using honey, you're going to need to stir it. And now we're going to use this with starch and water. So I'm going to clean this tablespoon off, and I'm going to use 3 tablespoons of cornstarch because I want mine thicker. Start with 2 tablespoons cornstarch. In fact, that's what I'll do. And you might notice I'm doing the cornstarch before I add the sesame oil. I'm adding the sesame oil when it starts to boil. Now the easiest way to do this is just shake. I'm going to dump this out and do it again. So I'm reaching in there with the tablespoon, and I push it right against the side and just pull it up. You see? That's almost a perfect tablespoon. Again, push it up against the side, brush it a little bit, and perfect tablespoon. Now I'm going to add water in here up to 2/3 of a cup. So while we're waiting, we might as well start cleaning stuff up. I'm going to add some sriracha. I'm not going to add a lot because I have not tried this out yet. But it smells tangy and delicious. I got this at Dollar Tree and it smells amazing. You could probably pick one up like this at Walmart or some grocery store. I like heat. That was about a tablespoon. Let's zoom in on the sauce. Whenever you're stirring in here, stir like this. This way you won't have so many splashes, but always keep the bottom of this touching the bottom of that. So the bottom of your spoon is touching the bottom of this when you're stirring. Don't make it up and down, otherwise you risk splashing. What we're going to do is we're going to get this up to a gentle boil. Once it gets to a gentle boil, that's when we're going to adjust the heat. Now heads up, this will separate. As you can see right here, it's starting to separate the water from there. Just mix it up a little bit. And by mixing it in here, you can measure it out correctly and have less spillage. Yeah. Oh, I think I saw some movement. Dude, I saw movement. You see the steam rising from there? That steam is a good indicator it's about to start boiling. But we want it to a rolling boil. So not quite a little simmer, but a rolling boil. Pop-up surprise, I like to change the flavor a little bit. So I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons worth of diced red onion because I just love the flavor. It changes the profile a little bit, makes it a little bit deeper and a little bit richer. And you see, this is a rolling boil. So what we want to do, turn the temperature down to here, so medium-low. Put our spoon in here and start stirring. And we're going to gently add in the water and cornstarch. You see how the temperature changed that from boiling to not boiling? That's okay. And we only added a little bit. So we're going to let it come back to a boil. See how quickly that's happening? I'm going to turn the temperature up to medium again, like exact medium, just to get it there a little bit quicker, because I'm impatient. Yay! Now generally, this was my mistake. I normally add the red onions a little bit sooner, so that's basically 1/4 of a red onion, because I love the way it changes the flavor. It deepens the flavor, makes it more savory. We're almost to a rolling boil. Now keep in mind, you can always add more, not less. We're just adding a little bit at a time. That way we can feel how thick it gets. I'm probably going to have to do more than this, which is good. We found out the 2 tablespoons isn't quite enough, or maybe it is. Let's let that get back to a boil. We're keeping it on medium right now. Medium-low is going to make it thicker over time, but it's also going to take a lot longer. And you're cooking by feel. That's literally all we're doing here is cooking by feel. And I love it. And I'm not leaving the plastic on, the stove. I'm not leaving the plastic touching the pan. There we go. Oh, it's about to boil. Keep our starch from clumping. And also because I'm bored. Start stirring this stuff in. I've still got a little bit left to go. And you can see it thickening a little bit. That's good. Let me use my right hand. This is going to be, right now, it's going to turn out to be a beautiful marinade, but we want it a little bit thicker. I want it to be an actual sauce. I'm just cleaning things in the background. You can see it thickening up. This is awesome. It's going to thicken a lot more when it cools. And the longer you boil it, the thicker it's going to get too. Putting the rest of this in there. You're not going to see it boil too much now. We're going to stir everything in. You see how it's just stopped moving? That's it thickening up. So we're going to let it come to a light boil. But that is a beautiful little sauce. Look at the thickness of it. Now here's where the fun part comes in. We're adding our sesame oil. I'm not used to measuring it out. I'm used to just blah. So that's 1 teaspoon and that is 1 teaspoon. Yay! We're going to stir it in. We always add our sesame oil last. What we're going to do is we're going to stir everything in very gently because this will splash. In fact, I just splashed a little bit myself. Now if you do go under and over, do it very gently. That burn you hear is my mistake. Do you see how thick this is? That's just about the right consistency for a sauce that you would pour onto chicken. Now, if I only used 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, then that would be a good marinade. This is a good sauce. Because remember, it's going to thicken as it sits, as it cools. But here's where the moment of truth comes. This is already hot. It's going to stay hot. It's going to stay boiling. So I'm going to do, I take it back down to medium-low. So right in the middle there. We're going to keep stirring this. The longer it boils, the thicker it's going to be. I'm not going to let it boil for more than 3 extra minutes. Start putting stuff away. Now I'm going to rinse this off so I can taste it. This sauce right here is going to be very, very, very hot, but you've got to taste it. So blow on it, get it nice and cool so it doesn't burn you. Okay, that is great, but it needs to be sweeter. So remember to stir this. This is going to get really thick. Just so you know, like this is going to be thick. But we need sugar in there. I'm just going to freestyle it. Bada bing, bada boom. We're just going to let it stir. We're going to let it simmer on medium-low heat. Go back and forth, but make sure the tip of this is always touching the bottom. And don't keep it there too long. Now you should be able to taste the difference. Again, just a small amount, but we're going to taste this. Make sure it's good. Damn, that's good. Damn, that's good. Oh my god. All right, I'm going to make that just a little bit sweeter. So I'm adding roughly 1/3 of a cup. And remember to play with your sauce. Remember, we made this whole sauce in less than half an hour. Did you hear that? Less than half an hour. Booyah. Because it's not spicy enough for me, I'm adding more sriracha. All right. Moment of truth, people. Oh my god. I just outdid myself. That is awesome. That is quality, high-class teriyaki sauce. I'm going to add some more honey too, because I want a little bit sweeter. I like it sweet. That is a damn good teriyaki sauce. And remember, you get to play with this however you want to. If you want more ginger, you can add more ginger. In fact, I kind of want more ginger. I want more kick. I want it more playful and vibrant. But that is a really, really, really good teriyaki sauce. I just want a little bit more tang. And your sauce is your sauce. Remember that. Like, your sauce is however you want to make it. When mixing this in, just kind of stir it up and down very gently, because with powders and with as thick as this is, you're going to need to mix it in there like really thoroughly. Then stir the bottom a little bit. My mother and grandmother made this one. They figured this one out. Oh, delicious. Utterly delicious. One more. Because I'm greedy. So good. Bon appetit. Oh, I can't wait to make this into teriyaki chicken. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a lid on top of this. And we are going to turn the heat off. And take this off of this burner and onto a cool burner for it to cool. It will keep for a week, but do not freeze it. You can cook your chicken in it, which you'll see in the next video. That freezes well, but the sauce itself, starch, does not freeze very well. It kind of falls apart and becomes more liquidy. So you could reconstitute it. I don't recommend it. But yeah, this is a delicious, delicious sauce. Now, allow me to go clean this up. Bon appetit, and as always, stay amazing. Remember, that is your sauce. If you want to play with it, if you want to add pepper to it, if you want to add sugar, if you want to add orange, I almost did. Like this one right here, I've made it with this before, orange pepper. It's not bad. Play with it. This is your meal. This is your sauce. And we're going to use this sauce for many other things. Teriyaki chicken is one of them, but we're also going to do egg rolls very soon. If we're going to do chicken egg rolls with this sauce to where you don't even need to dip it. Anyway, y'all take care, and I'll catch you next time. Oh, like, subscribe, do all the other stuff. Go to the Patreon link at the bottom if you want to and if you're feeling grateful. And I'll see you next time. Story time and fun fact, because I'm actually getting ready to cook another thing, but I forgot to add garlic, which it's good without garlic anyway. But this is a teaspoon. So here's the quick story of how this recipe came into being. We had this one restaurant called Henry Teal's over in Kaiser, Oregon. It was on the waterfront. It was beautiful. Like my 8-year-old self remembered that restaurant being beautiful. Just go ahead and stir this in. My grandmother and mother got together one day and said, you know what? I want to make this stuff for myself. And so they figured out this recipe. It was painstakingly figured out after about 3 different tries, because that's how good my grandmother was. She had a cookbook. But this is one of my favorite staples. You're getting family recipes here. So I hope you enjoy, and I hope you share them with your family and friends. Now here's a trick. Shake it, level it out. You still got room. So here's another trick too. Close it all the way, shake it like this, and then shake it down there. You see, you got this much room in the top right here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to fill it the rest of the way up as much as I can. We're going to have a little bit of excess, but that can go in a Ziploc sandwich bag or something like that. In fact, I think it would be almost perfect for a sandwich bag. But one of these should fill up 2 of those. So 1 of these, 2 of those. But I'm going to put the lid on because you can see the lid is pressing in right here. So I don't want to go any deeper than this. And the rest can go wherever it goes. But this can store in the in your pantry, or in my case, I'm putting it above me into the cabinet I just closed. So yeah, fun little tip and trick here. Like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more tips and tricks.